بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Assalamu alaikum, boys and girls, and welcome to Let's Read with Eliza. Hope you're doing well and enjoying the books on the channel, and I'd be really grateful if you can like and subscribe to it and share it with your friends and family. What are we reading today? Today, we are reading Alhamdulillah for my grandmother. Now, this book has been written by Hiba Masood and it has been illustrated by Fatma Al-Makhairi. Shall we start? Come on then, say with me. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah for my grandmother. Every Ramadan, Abdullah would visit his grandmother and stay with her for the whole month. When Abdullah was a baby, his grandmother would tuck him into his little brown basket and sit beside him, reading the Quran and doing dhikr as he slept. She would curl up in her rocking chair, hide her feet under her red blanket, and pick up her deep blue prayer beads that glowed like the twilight skies of 1,000 nights. Rock, 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 went the rocking chair all afternoon. Click, 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 went the prayer beads, and grandmother softly whispered, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. When Abdullah would wake, he would stretch out his hands and laugh at his grandmother. Grandmother would put down her prayer beads and run towards Abdullah. She would hold him up high in the air and fly him around like an airplane. Tickle, 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 she would say as she tickled his tummy, and they would play together till it was time for iftar. When Abdullah grew a little older, his mother put his basket away. Grandmother would tuck Abdullah into her bed and read the Quran as he slept. She would then curl up in her rocking chair, hide her feet under her red blanket, and pick up her deep blue prayer beads that glowed like the twilight skies of 1,000 nights. Rock, 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 went the rocking chair all afternoon. Click, 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 went the prayer beads, and grandmother softly whispered, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. When Abdullah would wake, grandmother would stretch out her hands and laugh to him. She would put down her prayer beads as Abdullah ran towards her. He would jump into her lap and she would tickle his tummy. Tickle, tickle, tickle. Now, tell me something, she would say, and he would tell her of his big yellow digger truck and the funny-looking tree outside, and what if there really was a purple dinosaur in real life. Now, you tell me something, he would say, and she would tell him all things she was thankful for. My comfy bed, my eyes that can see, my nose that can smell. Can you smell those samosas, Abdullah? My fuzzy green prayer rug. Do you know, my mother gave me this prayer rug. And yes, most of all, she would kiss him, my beautiful boy. And they would talk and play together till it was time for iftar. When Abdullah grew a little older, he would curl up in the rocking chair to read his Quran, and grandmother would tuck herself into her bed. She would hide her feet under her red blanket and pick up her deep blue prayer beads that glowed like the twilight skies of 1,000 nights. Rock, 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 went the rocking chair all afternoon. Click, 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 went the prayer beads, and grandmother softly whispered, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. When grandmother had rested, she would put down her prayer beads and stretch out her hands. Abdullah would pull her up to sit and put his head on her lap. She would stroke his hair and they would talk. Tell me something, she would say, and he would tell her of his work and his friends, about the funny-looking tree outside and where he would like to travel. How does Andalusia sound, grandmother? Now, you tell me something, he would say, and she would tell him all the things she was thankful for. The roof over our heads, the wonderful food we eat, my bones that have been so kind to me all these years, and that I was able to go for Umrah last year, where I kissed the black stone, and most of all, my beautiful boy. When Abdullah grew a little older, he would tuck his grandmother into her bed and wrap her red blanket snugly around her, careful to hide her feet, just as she liked it. Abdullah would sit in the rocking chair beside grandmother while she slept, and he would pick up her deep blue prayer beads that glowed like the twilight skies of 1,000 nights. Rock, 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 went the rocking chair all afternoon. Click, 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 went the prayer beads, and Abdullah softly whispered, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. When grandmother would wake, Abdullah would put down her prayer beads and stretch out his hands to stroke her silvery hair. Tell me something, she would say, and he would tell her all the things he was thankful for. My grandmother, my strong arms that can hold her, my Hajj with Baba, summer afternoons by the lake, the swish of the wind in the funny-looking tree outside. Now, you tell me something, he would say. And she would tell him many things, beautiful secrets of the universe, marvelous treasures that lived in the hearts of the believers, and the glorious promises that Allah has made for those who are grateful. Then she would go quiet, and he would go quiet, and they would sit quietly and happily together till it was time for iftar. Alhamdulillah, what a lovely story. It made me miss my own grandmother and the time I used to spend with her when I was a child. Alhamdulillah. What did you learn, boys and girls? What does Alhamdulillah mean? And what are you grateful for? And do you have any special memories with your grandparents? I would love to hear about them. Do let me know at letsreadwitheliza@gmail.com. I'm going to go now and share my special memories about my grandparents with my own children. Alhamdulillah. I'll see you next time, boys and girls. Have a lovely day. Assalamu alaikum.